why haven't you brought up how food and water being poisoned before? I'm sure you don't have to eat this. Should be addressed long ago. It's killing us. I mean, I definitely talk about this. I mean, we talked about, when I started the podcast, it comes up every once in a while. It's just not, in the grand scheme of all the issues out there, it's not my biggest issue. I mean, it is RFK's, and I think he's great at it. That's why he just knows much more about it. I was talking to him about it literally earlier today. It's a real thing. As I get more informed on it, it's a big deal. I clearly do what I can with my kids to stop the pesticides and this, and try to not go with too much of the processed crap. But it's not. I don't eat particularly all that well for myself. So I get it's a major issue. You try to be as good as you can about it. It's clearly worse than I've ever known. And as I followed him, as I start seeing that, you realize how much worse it actually is. And you look at us compared to other countries, and then you look at our autism rates versus other countries, or you look at Amish community autism rates versus Americans in the same state that aren't from the Amish community there, and you're like, why is it that there's zero Amish suffering any of these things, and yet everyone else in the area is? It's not just that. Ain't genetics, folks. That's just not. Statistics don't work that way. There are other things at hand, and so I think the big thing is now I'm trying to educate myself along the way. I know there's things that aren't great. I can't imagine all the crap we spew into the air and into the water is great for you. It just hasn't been, in the grand scheme of all the issues that are out there, it hasn't been one of my top ones. As I'm learning more about it, it's certainly becoming interesting. But that's why I'll defer to the people that actually have studied these things for years, like RFK. So as we said, we're talking about doing Make America Healthy events around the country. We got a bunch of really cool events where he's going to have the platform to talk about that. Obviously, I know a lot of people concerned about that clearly for their kids. I know I am. Mothers out there, and I think we could do something on a pretty big national level on the issue. But I'm going to let the experts actually lead on it, and not me. And I don't mean experts like governmental experts. I want like an RFK who's actually studied it and isn't bought off by big food and whatever it may be, big pharma, big food, the combination thereof. I mean, you see the stories, the tobacco companies bought all the junk food companies, and they're doing this, and it's the same stuff that they got you hooked on cigarettes with. And I mean, it's mind blowing that it happened. But I guess when we look at things in the grand scheme of everything we know now, it probably shouldn't shock anyone.